Welcome, brave souls, to the edge of your seats. Tonight, we're diving into the nightmares that haunt the silver screen. Dim the lights and brace yourselves for some cinematic terror. Let's see who's still breathing when the credits roll. Jungle Nightmare. A woman wakes up to find herself hanging upside down from a tree branch like a Counter-Strike character. She wonders if her captors intend to barbecue her. Confused, she can only pretend to be asleep. When the captors put her down to rest, she wakes up her boyfriend next to her. Her boyfriend uses his strength advantage to break free from his restraints. He then unties his girlfriend. However, the ungrateful girlfriend's first action after breaking free is to get up and run, abandoning her boyfriend. This attracts the attention of the captors. The boyfriend cannot run because his feet are still tied. As a result, the boyfriend is chopped into pieces. The ungrateful girlfriend's fate is not much better. She runs forward like a headless fly. Then, she accidentally. The protagonist wonders why they are tied up like kebabs. Everything started the day before. A group of outsiders travels to Brazil, the holy land of basketball, by bus. The bus now drives into the mountains. The bus is full of people. The road ahead is also very steep. The driver suddenly wants to show off. He wants to show off his racing skills in front of everyone. He wants to put on a show like Fast and Furious 4. He treats the mountain road as an F1 racetrack. He turns left, steers hard right, then steers back, and continues to steer hard left. He thinks he will pull off something impressive. Instead, he makes a huge mistake. Fortunately, the front will get stuck in a dirt pit. Everyone gets their lives back. But the driver is too proud. The wheels are stuck in the pit. He keeps pressing the gas pedal and turns the steering wheel left to try and drive the car out. He really tries to push everyone into the hands of death. Seeing how stubborn the driver is, everyone rushes out of the car. Seeing that everyone gets off, the driver also gets off. Then the bus rolls down. Although everyone saves their lives, they also retrieve all their luggage. But they are dozens of kilometers away from the town, and they have to wait 10 hours for the next bus to pass. Some people are willing to wait and want to look around nearby for any interesting places. Just like that, 6 people from different countries who are unwilling to wait meet each other. They temporarily form a small group. Lisa, a member of the group, travels to Brazil alone. She speaks the local language and learns from the locals that there is a beautiful beach nearby with a bar next to it. As soon as they hear this, they immediately become interested. They walk for a while and soon arrive at the location. They start playing on the beach. When they get tired of playing, they go to the bar for drinks and rest, feeling absolutely wonderful. Moreover, they also meet a couple from Sweden and a local Afro-haired young man. The Afro-haired man gets along very well with Lisa. He also speaks English. Even though the group is very happy right now, little do they know, someone in the dark is already watching them.
Mais gringos chegaram.
Sim, quantos?
São 8 deles agora. Eles são todos seus.
Night falls. It is the happiest time at the bar. Everyone drinks heartily, singing and dancing. But as they dance, the vision of the 8 people begins to blur. Their consciousness grows heavier. They eventually fall to the ground, unconscious. When morning arrives, the group wakes up and finds themselves on the beach. All of their belongings are gone. Clearly, someone set them up. Someone drugs their drinks, and robs them clean. The couple from Sweden is even worse off than the others. The question arises about what happened. It is the scene that appears at the beginning. The other 6 people arrive at a nearby small town. They originally want to call the police, but after asking passers-by, they learn the townspeople, including the police, are very hostile towards outsiders and will not help them at all. What should they do? The group worries. Suddenly, the man discovers in horror that the passing boy is wearing his hat. He quickly chases after him, wanting to get it back. However, the boy is small and runs very fast. He also provokes the man while running. In a fit of rage, the man picks up a stone from the ground and throws it at the boy. It hits its target, striking the boy directly in the head. At this moment, the man does not yet realize the seriousness of the situation. Soon after, the villagers swarm over and surround them. The villagers, who already dislike outsiders, become even more enraged at the sight. In their eyes, the man is stealing and hitting a child. They must severely punish the protagonists, these foreign invaders. Fortunately, the man with the afro arrives just in time to rescue them. The man with the afro leads them into the forest. He says his uncle has a large villa in the forest. The protagonists can spend the night there. However, the man does not want to stay there for another second. The villagers here are absolutely terrible. Not only were their belongings stolen, but they also distributed them among the villagers. The villagers are also unreasonable, mistakenly believing them to be robbers. There is no reason to stay. But how do they return? There is no car, and they want to wait for a bus. The man with the afro says they have to wait for 2 days. With no other choice, they can only stay at the man with the afro's uncle's house for now. Then the scene shifts to the group of people who previously caused the Swedish couple to suffer a tragic fate. Their leader is the man, who is also the local doctor. The doctor is extremely angry. He says they killed his prey. Sandbiao questions how his subordinates handle things, calling them useless people who only mess things up. Saying this, Sandbiao immediately kills one of his subordinates on the spot to make an example of him. Meanwhile, to calm the 6 people, the man with the afro leads them to a beautiful waterfall. The group swims freely here, carefree and completely unaware of what they are about to face. Among them, the man with the afro and Lisa grow closer. He seems to develop feelings for Lisa. It is at this moment that his conscience awakens. The man with the afro no longer wants to take them to his uncle's house. He wants to take them back to the small town. He wants to explain to the villagers that they are all good people and ask the villagers to find them a car. However, the group quickly objects. They refuse. They have run so far with great difficulty only to turn back. They do not want to go back. The man with the afro feels helpless. It seems that their fate ends here. The man with the afro's uncle is the same person who appeared earlier, the leader. The reason the man with the afro is so friendly to the group is to make them lower their guard, making the group feel he is the only local person they can rely on and trust. This way, he can trick everyone into his uncle's villa. As for his uncle, the leader, on the surface, he is a doctor. However, secretly, he engages in organ trafficking. He is an organ butcher disguised in a white coat. After swimming, the group decides to play a diving game. But at this moment, an accident occurs. When the man with the afro jumps down, perhaps because of his afro hairstyle, his head explodes after the jump. Blood flows profusely, and he falls into a coma. What should they do? It seems they must quickly go to the villa. Upon arriving at the location, the group begins searching everywhere in the villa to see if there are any medical supplies. After searching for a long time, they find nothing useful. However, the man finds a stapler. He notes that the protagonist's head exploded. He uses a stapler to forcefully close the protagonist's head back together. He believes that should work. This sounds ridiculous, but when they try it, it actually works. The protagonist immediately wakes up. Confused, he lies on the bed and falls into a deep sleep. The others' anxious hearts completely calm down. Afterward, they start searching the house for food. The man unexpectedly finds many passports and identification cards. They belong to people of various nationalities. This makes him feel very uneasy. Out of concern, he takes a folding knife from the drawer. As night falls, everyone starts eating dinner. At this point, they notice someone is missing. They wonder who it is. It is the man. He discovers a monitoring room and sits there, lost in thought. As he watches the surveillance footage on the screen, his eyes reveal a hint of unease. He wonders why there are so many passports and identification cards belonging to different people in this villa. He wonders what unspeakable secrets it holds. Midnight arrives. As the group sleeps soundly, lights suddenly flash outside. He wonders who has arrived. It is the man, and he returns with his subordinates. At this time, the group has not yet realized that danger has arrived. They are still foolishly staying there. The man with the afro hurriedly explains to the other man that these are his friends and pleads with him not to kill them or harvest their organs. But the man does not buy into this. What he likes most is to harvest the organs of foreign invaders. He quickly orders his subordinates to knock them all unconscious. The scene changes. The blonde woman is tied to an operating table, prepared to have her heart and lungs removed. Next is her boyfriend, Jack. The other 4 people are all locked in dog cages. These 2 people are 100% not going to survive. The scene then returns to the other 4 people. The man uses the folding knife in his hand to free himself and the others from their restraints. On the other side, the man finishes harvesting the blonde woman's organs. He then orders his subordinate to grab another person. The subordinate chooses Lisa. However, Lisa is no pushover. She does not allow herself to be captured easily. She delivers a flying kick, directly knocking down the subordinate. Her companions in the nearby cage also take the opportunity to stab the subordinate several times. However, this subordinate is battle-hardened. These minor injuries are nothing to him. Then the subordinate pulls out a gun. He prepares to kill them. At this critical moment, the man with the afro arrives. He neutralized the threat of the subordinate. He rescues Lisa. He then begins to rescue the others. However, when he opens the last cage, the man with the afro messes up. He accidentally breaks the key. Everyone must work together. One chopstick is easy to break, but a bundle of chopsticks is hard to break. They work together to pry open the iron cage, rescuing the last person. Afterward, the group splits into two. One group checks inside the house to see if there is anyone alive to rescue. The other people start running deep into the forest. Soon, their actions are seen by the long-haired man in front of the monitor. The long-haired man, without saying a word, immediately shoots and kills the person they just rescued. Seeing the person they worked so hard to save get killed, he loses his mind. He fires several shots continuously at the long-haired man. However, his aim is too poor, and he soon fails. The other person quickly escapes. By morning, he and Lisa, led by Afro Man, arrive at the waterfall, planning to dive into AR underwater cave to take a detour. Inside the cave, they encounter another survivor named John. The group finally reunites. However, what they do not expect is that their moves are predicted. The doctor and his men are already waiting for the group on the shore. As soon as they surface, countless bullets assail them. Afro Man dies on the spot. The three of them miraculously survive and dive back underwater. However, they have no guide. It is easy for them to get lost inside. However, relying on their strong willpower and amazing lung capacity, they find a cave. But the bad news is, the doctor and his men also catch up. The group hides in the dark and ambushes the doctor. The doctor is half dead after being hit by rocks. His long-haired subordinate arrives upon hearing the commotion. The doctor tells his subordinate to quickly open fire. At this moment, Lisa tries to talk sense into the long-haired man. She tells the long-haired man to turn over a new leaf. She tells him to stop working with the doctor. She explains that doing this is illegal. The doctor sees this. He exclaims, "Oh, really?" He asks if the long-haired man dares to disobey him. He asks if the long-haired man forgets what happened to the other subordinate. He reminds him how he demonstrated his authority to them. He warns that if the long-haired man dares to disobey, his fate will be the same as the other subordinates. The long-haired man sees this. He thinks, well, He thinks the doctor dares to speak to him like that. He realizes he holds the power. The long-haired man, without a word, shoots and kills the doctor. He then completely ignores the others. He turns around and leaves. The group eventually escapes from the place. They successfully board a plane and leave. The movie ends here. The most straightforward and heartbreaking lesson from this movie is, when traveling abroad, never easily trust strangers who proactively approach you, seem overly enthusiastic towards you, and show kindness for no reason. It is hard to know someone's true intentions, especially in a foreign country. Alright, see you next time.